Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to look a little different. This is something that is newer to me because this is something that I actually do for myself because I don't have freezer space. But today's video is going to be freezer meals. I have got 3 delicious, easy freezer meals that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. So this past month, I have been making freezer meals for a friend of ours that has been needing them. They're kind of down in the dumps and have needed some quick and easy meals that they can pop in the oven and just heat up and serve for their family. So I decided to film while I have been making these over the past month. And so I have got 3 recipes that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. I'm going to be showing start to finish on how I prepare it and how I wrap it to freeze, how I label it and everything, and how I send it off to whoever needs it. So I know freezer meals are a huge deal. I love them personally. I just don't have the freezer space to have freezer meals, unfortunately. If I can talk Luke into letting me get a new deep freeze, that new deep freeze would be stocked with freezer meals. I love doing freezer meals, but since I can't, I love making freezer meals for people. Actually have, there will be another upcoming freezer meal, probably like next month, that I'm actually going to be having somebody pay me to make them a load of freezer meals, and they've agreed to let me film it for you guys. So I'm kind of excited about that because I still get to make all these freezer meals, but I just have to send them off. Since I don't have the space for myself, so I still get the best of both worlds. I can film it, I get to make them, and then somebody else gets to enjoy them. So let's go ahead and get started into this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I just thought I would film it, try to give you an idea. Like, even if you're not making them for yourself, me showing you how I make them to send them off can also help a lot of people too, because you might know somebody that needs a freezer meal also. So let's go ahead and get started, and I really hope you guys enjoy this video. We are making some cheesy tater tot casserole, and this is going to be, of course, a freezer meal. So I'm just going to show y'all how I make it, prep it in the freezer pan, how I wrap it, and how I label it to give to somebody. And that's kind of how all of these recipes are going to be. For this one, you're going to need a can of corn, some tater tots or tater rounds. I prefer the tater rounds. That's just personal preference. You'll need some ground beef, some Colby Jack cheese, a can of cream of chicken or cream of mushroom. Honestly, I normally do cream of mushroom, but I'm all out, so we're just going to use cream of chicken, cheddar cheese soup, and then I have a half of an onion there in that blue container. You'll need 1 foil pan, and then I'm going to be using the 1836 and the SPG from SuckleBusters to season my ground beef and onions. Those links are always in the description box. Okay, so we're just going to cook up our ground beef and just a half of a chopped onion. Use as little or as much onion as you like. And then I'm just gonna season it up. I have got my hamburger meat cooked and I have drained it. Now we're gonna add in the rest of the ingredients. We're gonna go in with our cans of soup mix. And like I said, I normally do cream of mushroom, but I'm all out. In the recipe that will be typed down below for you guys, it will have cream of mushroom. But you can do it with either. I know a lot of people that don't even like cream of mushroom. Now we're going to go in with our cheddar cheese soup. got our can of corn and it is drained. Partially. There's a little liquid in there. And then we're just gonna mix it up. Now, we're just gonna put this in our pan here. If you want a nice full pan, I would recommend doing 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of ground beef. That's what I have here. I've got 1.5 pounds. Which if you've been here for a while, you know that's always how I portion out and how I cook is with 1.5 pounds. So. Okay. Now we're going to top it with a whole bag of Colby Jack shredded cheese. I told y'all this was a cheesy tater tot casserole. Can't be skimping on the cheese now. Okay. Now we're going to go in with our tater rounds. Which you can use tater tots or tater rounds, whichever one. I just really love tater rounds. So I'm just going to kind of place them all on here. Okay. And then I always like to season my tater tots. So I'm going to go in with some pepper. And some salt. And then I'm going to let this completely cool before I wrap it. So once it completely cools, I'll come back and show y'all how I wrap it for the freezer or to transport, any of that good stuff. If I am packaging these up for my freezer, for someone else's freezer, or to travel, this is how I like to wrap them. So I like, this is completely cool. I always make sure it's completely cool before I wrap it because it's just going to make moisture in there. So I'm going to double wrap it with saran wrap. Okay. Then I like to wrap it in foil. And then I take one of my recipe cards and I write freezer instructions, baking instructions, whatever they may need to either put this in their freezer and thaw it out or to bake it. So here's my little card. I'll show y'all what I put on it. So I put the what it is at the top, and then freeze, how long it will freeze up to, and then thaw it a day before in the fridge. Then I always put on here, take plastic wrap off before baking, because some people will just take and stick this right in the oven if they don't know, and then bake 350 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes. And this one needs to be cooked uncovered, and I always say uncovered, covered, if they need to, you know, if they need to do that. So I'm gonna set this on top, and then what I do is I get me a big sheet plastic wrap. And I'll just wrap this baby up real good and tight. And then it's ready to go in the freezer for you or for your friend, whoever needs it. It's ready to go with all the instructions and what it is on top. Now I'm going to be making chicken bacon ranch pasta, or also known as cracked chicken pasta. So I'm going to use the Instant Pot here. I'm just going to cook my chicken. Makes it super quick. You can also do this in a crock pot. I think I've done this. If I have it on my channel, I'll link it. If not, then I'll definitely make it. But I'm going to just do this here because it's super easy. So you're going to need 2 to 3 chicken breasts, however many you need for your family. I've got those in there. And I've got 1 cup of water. You always need at least a half a cup to 1 cup of liquid to go in your Instant Pot for it to come to pressure. And I always recommend using warm to hot water or hot liquid whenever you're putting it in your Instant Pot, because it won't take as long to come to pressure, because it has to heat up enough, you know, to come to pressure. So if you put in cold broth or cold water, that's going to take even longer. So use hot liquids. It helps it come to pressure faster. I do have a chicken cube in there. I'm going to crush up and let it dissolve. And then I've got 1 packet of ranch. So that's all you're going to need for the chicken. So we're going to dump the ranch in there, put the broth in there, and we're going to cook the chicken. And then over here, I'm going to cook some pasta up. I have some nice salty water going. And then we're going to cook this whole box of rigatoni penne, and I will show you how to do it also in the full pan. Add in your broth, and then you will dump in your dry ranch packet. I have a whole recipe for this, so I'll have it linked in the description box. Okay, so lid's on good. Make sure it is on seal. And I'm going to pressure cook for 7 minutes and let it do a 10-minute natural release. Okay, so timer went off. I'm gonna plop this thing of cream cheese in here if I can get it with one hand. Come on. Okay. Plop it in there. And then I'm gonna put the lid back on. For about 5-ish more minutes just to let that cream cheese soften. And then when we go to shred the chicken, the cream cheese will be soft and it can just all mix together and make a sauce. As you can see, the cream cheese has gotten nice and soft. So I'm gonna take and shred this up, cream this together, and then we'll come back. Okay, shredded up my chicken. And I wanted to mention that I left the liquid in there. Whatever liquid was left from that 1 cup of chicken broth, it's still in there. I didn't get rid of it. So you're gonna go in with 1 can of cream of chicken. One cup of a sharp cheddar cheese. I said that funny, sharp cheddar. And then about 1/2 cup, or however much you want, of bacon. Bacon makes everything better, right? Let's give all that a good mix. And I have my Instant Pot off, by the way. It's not even plugged in anymore. I'm just mixing it all in here so I don't dirty up another bowl, because that's pointless. Now I'm gonna add in my pasta. Okay, so to me that looks really good. I'm not gonna add any more pasta. I'll show you how much I have left. I cooked the whole box, but I didn't end up using the whole box. You still want it to be pretty liquidy because remember you're gonna be baking this in the oven. So I got my full pan here. We're gonna just dump this in here. The whole thing. Here's how much pasta I have left. So I'd say about 1/2. So if you do this, I would say just do this recipe, but just do like 1/2 of a box of pasta instead of a whole box. So this won't go to waste. We'll eat that. But so I feel like any baked pasta needs a good topping. So we're gonna make a Ritz cracker cheese bacon topping to go on this. It's gonna be delicious. So I've got 1/2 of a stick of butter melted here. I'm gonna go in with 1 sleeve of Ritz crackers, crushed up, 1/4 of a cup of bacon bits, and 1/2 cup of that sharp cheddar cheese. You want to melt your butter, but let it cool down a little bit so that way it doesn't melt your cheese. And then we're going to take and load this baby up with this topping. Ooh, y'all, I wish I was eating this one. I am super jealous. So we're going to let this one completely cool. The pasta itself is already cool. We're just going to make sure the topping's completely cool, and then we will wrap it up, and I'll show y'all how I do that. Okay, so it's kind of hard to see because the plastic wrap and the lighting, but I'd wrapped it the same way as the last one and actually gave detail on how I did that in the first one. But I just write what it is on it, and then how long it freezes, thaw before, take plastic wrap off before baking, and then bake 350, 25 to 30 minutes, uncovered or until bubbly around the edges and golden brown. So that's it. So same thing like the other one. You can transport it, go ahead and pop it in the freezer, or give it to somebody, whatever you want to do. We are making Lazy Man lasagna as a freezer meal this time. So I already did the hard work, and I just cooked up a pound and a half of hamburger meat, drained the grease, and then I added in 2 jars of spaghetti sauce. I have one that is Prego, tomato, basil, and garlic, and I just had one of the marinara in the fridge. So I went ahead and used the rest of that one. And then you'll need some cheese ravioli and some mozzarella cheese. And we're just gonna load it all up in this pan. I'm gonna show y'all how I put it together, how I wrap it, do the little note card and all that good stuff, just like the other ones. So you'll do a thin layer of your meat sauce just so the noodles don't stick and burn. Then you'll add on half of your ravioli, top it with some mozzarella cheese. Then you will repeat the layers again, add more of your meat sauce, the rest of your ravioli, top it with cheese, and then you put the rest of your meat sauce, end with cheese, and that's how you layer it up. Now that we got it all together, I'm going to let it completely cool for a little bit, and then I will wrap it up. So I just wrap it up the same way like the others. Do a good layer of saran wrap, and then I do a layer of foil, add on my recipe card with everything that you need. This one, of course, had the name on it, and then it said freeze up to 6 months. And it said, of course, remove the plastic wrap before putting it in the oven, and then baked covered for 20 minutes, and then uncovered for 10 minutes until golden brown and delicious. And that is it, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this freezer meal video. Something new to my channel, but like I said, I really enjoy making freezer meals, and especially making them for our friends and family. If you enjoyed this, definitely give this video a big thumbs up. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.